Hola amigos and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I was wanting to give you some tips to stay positive and motivated and productive during these long, dark, cold winter months. I think most people have less energy during the winter months. Naturally, they're wanting to sleep more and, well, let's face it, the rain and the grey and the cold can really begin to get us down. So here are my 10 tips to try to just alleviate some of that and give us back a little bit of positivity. My first tip is to get outside, and ideally as early in the day as you can. So our bodies get very confused during winter. We're inside a lot and we have the electric lights on, but that doesn't do the same for our bodies as natural sunlight does. And so one of the reasons why we have less energy is because our circadian rhythms, which control our sleep patterns, are all thrown off. They don't know what's going on. Is it nighttime constantly? Why is there no proper light? So the best way that you can kind of let your body know what's going on is to get outside. Now, I know that there are days when it's pouring with rain or sleeting and it's freezing cold and you so do not want to go out. I get it. I'm very lucky because I have 2 dogs and they have to be walked every day. So I have to go out. There's no getting around that. And it would be a lot harder for me to go out every day if I was just using my own willpower, especially when the weather is really, really yucky outside. And there will be days when you might not manage it, but just any day that you can, get outside into the fresh air, into the cold. Ideally, try to get some sun on your face if at all possible, and hopefully that will really help you. Tip number 2 is to air your house. Yes, I know it's cold. You don't want to open up the windows, but you also don't want a stale, stinky house. Let's be honest. It will freshen up the air inside and it will also help to stop like mold growing around your windows and things like that if it's all sealed up. What we tend to do is after we've had breakfast and everybody's kind of up and dressed, we'll just open all the windows that we can in the house just for a little while, half an hour, an hour, and then get it all closed up again just to freshen up the air, move the air around in the house. Tip number 3 is to look after yourself physically. So you might not feel like traipsing up and down mountains or heading out to the gym early in the morning while it's still dark, but at the very least try to do some gentle stretching or some yoga. There are some really, really great 30-day yoga challenges I know on YouTube at the moment, so completely free. There are also lots of 10-minute yoga little sessions available. That's what I tend to try to do because it's hard for me to find half an hour but it's 45 minutes, isn't it, by the time you've like got your stuff and you've got yourself set up and everything. So yeah, it's hard for me to find that amount of time in one block. So I will try to just do a 10-minute little session, if nothing else. Tip number 5 is to cook hearty meals. I really, really enjoy cooking and I absolutely love baking, and winter is the perfect time to try some new recipes and also to eat some of your favorites. I really like cooking things like casseroles and soups and stews. Shepherd's pie is one of our absolute favorites when it's cold, but anything that's really warming and nice, or maybe a curry, you know, with lots of spices that will warm you up. Try out a few recipes, do some of your old favorites. It'll also warm up the kitchen, so that's another benefit. Number 6 is to think of more indoor activities to do. So during the winter, you will naturally spend more time inside, so you may as well make the most of it. Are there some activities that you've been wanting to do or some things that you were wanting to learn that you haven't got time to do in the summer months when you're busier? Maybe you want to read more. Maybe you'd like to learn a language with an app like Duolingo. We really, really love to play a lot of board games. We took a good couple of weeks off for Christmas and New Year, and I think we were playing a board game pretty much every day, and it was absolutely brilliant. You could also get into crafting. I really enjoy knitting and I'm wanting to do some crocheting. I'm also learning to sew, although I'm really not very good at that. The least said about that, the better. Number 7 is to set goals or challenges to keep you motivated. So I already mentioned the 30-day yoga challenges that are available, but you can also do things like, if you're wanting to read more, set yourself a goal of how many books you're going to read that month, or maybe say you're going to read a book a week or something like that. NaNoWriMo was absolutely awesome in November for really taking my mind off the fact that it was getting colder. I definitely see the beginning of November as the start of winter, but I was so busy writing that, to be honest, I barely even noticed how cold and dark it was getting. Yeah, it was really, really good for taking my mind off it. So anything like that that you can do that kind of makes you more productive and that pushes you that little bit to go that little bit further. Number 8 is a little one, but it's one of my favourites, is to try some new warming drinks. I have my cup of tea down here that I'm clutching. I also really love coffee, but I am trying to get more into fruit teas. There's loads of nice green teas out there as well. So why not kind of pick up a multi-pack or something like that? Try a few different ones that you can get into at home. It'll warm you up from the inside out. There really is something so comforting about sitting down with a nice cup of something hot in your hands. Number 9 is catch up with your reading. I can think of no nicer way to spend a winter evening when it's all cold and rainy outside than curled up on my sofa with a blanket on me, a nice warm drink in my hands and a good book to enjoy for at least a couple of hours. Maybe do yourself a reading list, set yourself a goal like I mentioned earlier, but just take advantage of having the extra time at home for you to catch up with your reading. And tip number 10, my final tip, is this too shall pass. Winter is just a season and soon it will be spring. I know at the moment it seems really, really far away, but I noticed that there were snowdrops out yesterday. Soon everything will be green again. There'll be flowers everywhere, animals all around. It will be warm. We won't have to wear hats and coats when we go out. And personally, I am really looking forward to that. I really hope that this video was useful for you. Please let me know in the comments below if you have any of your own tips or things that you like to do to help you get through these dark, cold months. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe and boop that like button because it really does make such a difference to my channel, and I will catch you in the next one.